Okay, one of the biggest concerns with older facilities is they put fire protection systems in. And if you have a quagga mussel infestation, these fire protections are at risk for biofouling. And what you're looking at is you're looking at transformers, and when you get a fire, they release them to the fire system. If you have mussels biofouling your fire system, then you plug your fire system up. That's why they're at risk. So you either got to put treated water in, treat your fire system, use some type of control method to keep your fire system clear. That's one of the biggest risks. On a fire system, what you do is you either take your system apart and look at it, and visually look at it, look at your strainers, because you have strainers on the system, and you annually test it. Now, if you test it and it doesn't flow or has low flows, then that's when you're really at risk. But we do know from our experiences, these are one of the highest first areas the mussels like to hit because they're a smaller reduction in pipe size. Yeah, exterior structures on any facility is impacted probably the most by mussels because there's not much you can do other than maybe put a coating that restricts them from biofouling or attaching, or you must mechanically clean, scrape, use some mechanical device to keep them off. So in a trash rack, yeah, they will start closing off the trash rack. Normally you have a 4-inch trash rack, they'll reduce it down to 2-inch, 1-inch, and pretty soon the head loss is too great and you must clean them. The Lower Colorado Dam has Hoover Dam, Davis Dam, and then Parker Dam. In 2007, the mussels impacted Parker Dam first. And the reason is it's a little smaller structure. The habitat for them was better. The water was a little warmer. And so they colonized the cooling water system. And so that created, and we noticed it in the packing. So immediately the maintenance personnel at Parker had to put some type of filtration system on their cooling water to protect their packing. And that was simply the water flow was shut off to the packing. That was the first indication that we saw at Parker, plus the exterior surfaces, trash rack and stuff. It is now down there. Since then, we've noticed they have cleaned up their filter feeders. They have cleaned up Lake Havasu tremendously. We've seen a tremendous weed growth. We think it's related to the mussels because of the transparency, and then weeds grow, break off, and then they plug up intakes, which Central Arizona Project and Metropolitan Water District are dealing with, and Reclamation is also dealing with. So we all think that's related to the mussels that are impacted. We move upriver now to Davis Dam. The mussels didn't colonize there as rapidly as they did at Parker, but now they have colonized. We see them in every single water passage in the dam that uses raw water. HVAC systems, cooling water systems again, and we have research studies going on there that's looking at Zequinox, which is an environmentally friendly killed bacterium that only affects zebra and quagga mussels. So that is ongoing there, and that should be coming out shortly. We come upriver to the big dam, which is Hoover, and it is impacted. Our intakes, we have 30-foot intakes. They're penstocks, which are just 30-foot pipes, are colonized with mussels. We have upper and lower penstocks. They are colonized. So when you have colonized big pipes, you have mussel debris from dead mussels that slough off, and then you have live mussels that colonize and restrict flow. So the mussels cause debris problems, dead, or live problems colonizing, restricting flow. Where we see problems is, we mentioned fire alarms, but cooling water systems again, HVAC systems, SCADA cooling systems, anything that needs water flow for cooling is affected by the mussels. Another thing that you really see when we say generator cooling, we talk about oil coolers too. We have water cooling inside of oil coolers. Those are impacted because those are usually smaller. Those are impacted first before the large water cooling, and we are seeing all of that at Hoover. Okay, the environmentally friendly stuff that Reclamation is involved in is, we'll start on the exteriors. We're looking for coatings that's friendly to the environment, and is also prevents or restricts mussels from colonizing on a structure. So then one of the things that we're having the most trouble with on the coatings is trying to find it durable enough. Okay, so that's one of the environmentally friendly. The other environmentally friendly things we're looking at is we're looking at a product called Zequinox. We're in cooperative research agreement with Marone Bioinnovations to see if we can come up with a product that can kill mussels but does not infect the environment, does not affect fisheries, and when you apply the product, it is actually a dead product, but the ingredient in it is very effective at killing mussels. We're also looking at UV light because once again that's super friendly to the environment but seems to affect how the mussels react as long as you're treating the larvae state or vinegar state of the mussels. You can't use UV light when you get to adult mussels. Microfiltration on an enclosed pipe is where you physically try to remove the mussels, the 40 micron, 80 micron, from physically not allowing them to impact your pipes, plus you have nothing going out in the environment. So that's another way that we're looking at. We all know you can use chemicals, but those have adverse effects on the environment. So those aren't the ones we recommend, but they are alternatives should you become totally biofouled. And you would like use chlorine, dechlorinate, and then have discharge permits and deal with all the regulatory stuff and sampling that is required. We're trying to stay on the environmentally friendly side at all costs. We're trying to stay environmentally friendly, but we're also, once we do learn what is, we're trying to share that with other entities. And one of the ways we do that is we have a vulnerability assessments that we share. It's kind of a train-to-trainer program. We'll go out, we'll train like the Army Corps of Engineers, any other agency. It's on Reclamation's website. They can borrow the template. They can use the template. We'll go out, train them. We'll show them what experiences we have. We'll share these environmentally friendly options we have. We'll share the chemical ones. We'll give them a plan so they can go out there and work with their facilities, their regulators, the press, the public, whatever they need to do to control mussels in their system. They'll have a tool, and then not only will they have a tool, they should be able to take that program and train somebody else because the program is built up to train to trainer. From my perspective, mine has never been prevention. Mine has always been reactive because they were here. Yeah. You know, Reclamation didn't bring them to Lake Mead. The mussels were there. So when I became involved, it was, what are you going to do about the mussels? It wasn't, how are we going to prevent the mussels from getting to Lake Mead because they were already there. Now, Reclamation's core mission is to deliver water and power, Some may criticize Reclamation for maybe not getting into boat cleaning, but boat cleaning isn't really one of their missions. One of their missions is deliver water and power. Now, unfortunately, we'd all like to not have mussels, but the mussels were put there, and we didn't put them there, but we have to live with them. You know, economically, it seems to make sense to do as much as you can preventive-wise to not allow mussels to get into your facility. Okay. If they do get into your facility, though, then you must have a plan or an action to figure out what you're going to do with them. Most of the stuff that I've talked about is what are you going to do when they do hit. There are things that you can do to prevent them, which others are doing, other agencies, boat cleaning, boat inspection, clean, dry, public outreach. All of those things can have a tremendous impact. If not for many years, any year is an economical impact. And hopefully we can contain, through education and outreach. If you don't, I think we have experiences we can share of what you do once they get here, unfortunately. Yeah, and I'm real sensitive. When I go to other regions or other areas and I do a talk, I'm real sensitive about what the outreach is because they're really invested in trying to keep them out, and I fully understand. But I'm sensitive to them that if they get caught like we did, because we were not prepared when they came, we did get overwhelmed by mussels, and we do have some operational concerns, which I've addressed, that you can kind of pre-plan for and be prepared for should they hit, because you don't have near the impacts if you're ready for them. And it really depends who you talk to, because truly, our audience is, if you go down the Colorado River and they're infested, they want to know, how are we going to control these? What do we do? If you go talk to the Pacific Northwest, they're like, no, how are we keeping them out? We haven't seen them. We need to, and I totally understand the Columbia River Basin. I totally, you know, and so, but the sensitivity is 360 degrees different. I know. are the mussels.